just a little harder to use archers against casters and footies, and it's a pain in the ass. So, yeah, as I said, human has a lot of options on this map. Plus, they can actually tech to tier 2, start getting casters, screw over the huntress, and then just kind of expo, and then start massing tanks from there. So, yeah. But, since that doesn't matter, because we're talking about Warden, hooray. Great thing about Warden is you actually have a lot of different skill sets. Don't let your wisps get pathed by a peasant, by the way. That's just weak. Yeah. Anyways, you have pretty limitless options for what you're going to be doing skill set wise. By the way, don't tank with an archer and wake up creeps. Yeah, anyways, that archer is going to use more moon juice than the warden early game, which kind of sucks. Anyways, what was I saying? Skill sets, yeah. You can actually go Fan of Knives first. You can go Shadow Strike first. You can go Shadow Strike Blink as a skill set. You can go Blink Fan of Knives. You can go Shadow Strike Blink. Wait, Shadow Strike Fan of Knives. You can do a lot of things. So it's a pretty decent hero. I wouldn't recommend going Demon Hunter on this map. Kind of blows. Because really all you can do with the Demon Hunter is, immolation, harass, and that only lasts so long. Especially if the human player has a decent build placement, then you're kind of screwed. Because A, you can't get into, their main where they're probably not towering. B, immolation doesn't really last long enough to be as effective to the expos. And C, Mana Burn is, it's only good early game, and it just kind of stops them from creeping. And it doesn't actually do much to a fast expo. So, yeah, that's generally what players do on this map anyways. But yeah, you'll notice that there is a lot of wisp scouting going on, and you kind of want to do that early game. You want 2 or 3 at the bottom, just because you want to make sure that they're not expoing at, their natural or at the top, and you want to make sure that you're actually doing something about these. Okay, this is going to be the expo counter strategy. Yeah. So basically what he's actually going to be doing is creeping this out, doing some harassment, and then expanding on his own. The reason that this is effective is because basically the human player is going to be on the defensive, obviously, because they're like, oh my god, they're going to keep coming back, blah blah blah, warden, harassment hero, etc. So, they're just going to chill. Yeah, they'll do as much damage to your economy as possible, but they're going to be more worried about saving their own expo than killing your wisps. So you kind of gain the advantage out of that. He went level 2 Shadow Strike. I remember that. I forget whether he goes Blink or not. I'm pretty sure he goes Blink instead of Fan of Knives. Rune Bracers are sweet because really the only counter to the Warden is Mountain King Breaker. And really, if you reduce the damage of Bolt by 33, which is even more because it's a hero, you've pretty much screwed them. By the way, shop is nice. If they had a shop right now, it would be great. Or if the elf player had a shop, it would be great, because you could do a little more Shadow Strike harassment. But if you go Shadow Strike Blink, it's not as big of a deal. If you go Shadow Strike Phantom Knives, you're going to need like 6 shops, because you're going to be going through that many clarities. It's a little more mana intensive than a lot of them. One thing that you should realize is that Shadow Strike level 2 takes out a peasant without actually attacking it, so use that to your advantage. I forget why he isn't power building. Oh right, there they are. I was looking for the peasants that were actually going to get gold, but yeah, really early use of the roar scroll. I thought that was weird. That hero's gonna die eventually anyways. Reason Shadow Strike's great is because you can still kill things after they've TP'd, which is really a pain in the ass for the human player. Just because, the stuff. Plus they rely a lot on being able to move in and out with TPs. This is why it kind of sucks to expo with the green, because you're actually kind of in between your base and theirs, which is not advantageous at all. It's actually a disadvantage because it allows them to get there quicker with stuff, and plus they can like do other things to you, and your militia kind of aren't effective because you'd actually have to TP in with militia to have them for more than like 5 seconds. So yeah, 5 seconds. It's a calculated number. Ask for a keynote. Anyways, yeah, as you can see, the human player is obviously towering because, you know, that's what they do. When you're doing the strategy, and you're going Shadow Strike Blink, if you're the human player and you know they've gone Blink, don't try and surround their hero because that's just a waste of time. Plus, you could have been doing damage to their hero when you're setting up this nice little positioning. Plus, you're just giving them a reason to be a little more mobile and Blink and Shadow Strike your hero to death. Which is what you're going to be focusing on. With the Shadow Strike is you're going to be focusing on their hero. Don't focus on footies because they just drop to Huntress. If they do have mercs, focus on those. If they have peasants that are just randomly there, focus on those. So, yes, as you can see, he's taking tier 2. He's got his Ancient of Wonders halfway done. He doesn't have... oh, yes, he does. Okay, never mind. That sentence would have been stupid. Alright, so you'll notice he got a ward drop. It's kind of pointless. I would have sold it because it's 75 free gold. But, yeah, I guess it's kind of nice to have the invisible scout and to know what they have at their base. Sidebar, he's actually going to harass his base. You can see this time that the human player got a Zeppelin, though, which is a little smarter. But you'll notice, once again, the human player is camping his expo. So what does that mean? His main is vulnerable, especially because he hasn't towered it. A lot of human players will actually disregard the fact that they have to tower their main. That's silly. Especially against the warden, because the warden's probably the most mobile hero in the game. Yeah, I don't even know how you can argue that. Blink plus boots of speed, you're never going to be able to catch up to it. There is no boots of speed, obviously, but still, it's good to know. The ward's kind of there just so you know when the human player is coming. Wisp scouts kind of do the same thing, but you can always make an educated guess. I guess it just kind of helps to be able to get your archers out a little earlier. But yeah, I don't know. I don't use wards. Yeah. Best drop is actually Lightning Shield because then they actually can't expo. That's basically level 2 immolation, plus you have either Phantom Knives or Shadow Strike. So that's incentive to creep the shop as early as possible. But yeah, you'll notice the... actually, I'll commentate on that after. He is picking a battle right now, and once again the Zeppelin is actually doing a decent job, and he did actually do a volley to the Zeppelin. Smart move. You actually want to do as much damage to the Zeppelin as possible, as early as possible, as I said before, because this pretty much loses him the game. JK, no, it was kind of negligible because he didn't actually use his advantage to his advantage as much as he could have. That was kind of cocky to try and pick up the other footy, but, you know, stuff dies. So, watch as he suicides his footies into the creeps to deny the EXP. This made me LOL the first time I watched it. Basically, what you want to do is just not aggro the creeps. I mean, he's already aggroed one creep camp, but yeah. So, some say this pretty much lost Yaws the game. Yeah, that's what I'm going to pronounce his name as. Yaws. Yeah. But really, I don't think it really would have... wow, really.